This is our copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. We're going to hang out a bit today, Friday. Let's see what's going on out there in the world. Woohoo! What's up, y'all? Sharon, what's up? Blazer. It's Friday, folks. We have made it. Yeah, the weekend is here. We are at the shop, and it's a decent day out. Not too bad. Not too many. They are sky farting though. That's popping off. And I heard recently that Mexico has banned sky farts. Is that true? You know, you can't believe everything you see and hear on the internet, but I thought that was pretty interesting. Good for them if so. And yeah, we're going to enjoy this day as much as possible, catching some sun rays. Yeah, we're hooded up too. You know, last night was a little chilly for SoCal standards. I know a lot of you are in some really cold places. And what up, Juliana McGill? Much love to everyone coming through and whoever may be listening later. Check it out, Juliana. You know, you've seen these hats around. This is total Humboldt County. I got a bunch of them too. I'm gonna start popping them out. Got a lot of headgear I haven't been using, and it depends, you know, on this hairstyle today. I got the hair hidden, so I could get away with this hat. Honestly, you had no clue. Yeah, you're on Humboldt time. That's how it is sometimes, you know, especially when you're out on the farm doing farm work. You forget what time it is or what day it is. It's like, oh, yeah. And out here, I look forward to the weekend. I totally get what you mean. So no worries on that. Anyway, it's been a pretty good week at the shop here, and we're going to keep that going on into the weekend. Yeah. What is going on? There's some creepy news. We're not going to let this one get away. What up, Scully Pop? You know, I was watching you work the other night. I do hang out on your streams. And always fun to hang out with you over there. Scully Pop's always grinding. And feel free to network, folks. And we are on duty, so yeah, bro's next door at the Catalyst painting some walls or something like that. I'm holding down the shop. So just a little heads up, if we do get a customer, I'll try and pull up some live feed and y'all could chop it up in the chat. Yes, John Aside, what up, brother? Cheers to you. I got the monitor pulled up so I could see the chat there as well. And yeah, I'll try to keep an eye on things. Some gruesome news, a lot of world news going on, a lot of stuff, you know, get a grip. We're going to select a few things. And yes, there are some new dots on the mapping project. Yeah, the Bigfoot Mapping Project. So we'll get into that. You never know how the stream's going to flow. You never know how the streaming waters are. So we're just going to flow with it and see where it takes us. But I got a few things lined up, some gruesome news. I selected a few items of news to get into. There's just so much that, you know, pick your rabbit hole to get into. So anyway, I hope everyone's feeling pretty level-headed out there and feeling good. Yeah, just because a lot of weird vibes. I told you so. That lady finally went away. Had a weird situation with a lady sticking around here, stalking us and harassing us for several days here at the shop. And in case you're wondering what shop we're talking about, yeah, we have a smoke shop, skate shop here in East Los Angeles. Sky's the limit with the Y. And yeah, tap in with us anytime. That's how. That's oh yeah, I threw up the address with this one too. 3925 East Olympic Boulevard. Yeah, we got all types of different things in here too that you could shop for. Clothing, some shoes, hats and stuff. We got some new hats in. Art supplies are stocked up right now. Skate supplies are stocked up. You know, we sold a full-on skateboard just the other day too. It's always great when that happens, and we appreciate your support out here, folks. Yeah, we made it another year. Yeah, you never know. You never know in this business. And look, check it out. It's Herman hanging out there. He got his shades on too. Look, he's got his Ray-Bans on. You could actually see him this time. I've been, learning how to use this arm here, and I like this position I have it in now. I made some adjustments. I've been making little adjustments here and there. Oh man, so the first streams, and I still feel like I'm still new to this, still learning stuff, and I got a lot more to learn. And thank you for riding along with me. Y'all ride or die. I know I'm familiar with everyone in the chat, and there's Gemini Moon. Cheers to you. Hope you're having a blessed day. And how should we kick this off? So last night, they're not going to get away from us. They are not going to get away from us. Last night, we missed one, and it was late. It was pretty late. And I was actually studying my Brazilian Portuguese. Falando português, praticando português brasileiro. It's like I'm preparing to go back or something. Anyone sharpening up their Portuguese out there, let me know. Ready to go to Brazil? Hey. Let me know. Probably not. Yeah. Oh, it's always a good time to travel, right? Even though all types of weird stuff was going on with planes and anyway, so we're gonna pull up this chase last night. We missed it, and you're gonna think they got away. Did they get away? Well, this chase didn't get away from us. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna kick it off like this with a little action from last night. It's all right. It's just a few hours old, and we've done it before where we repeat, things, and we are buffering here. So let's see if we could we get this to play? There we go. All right, we're gonna get a little action here. KTLA Channel 5 News. And should we kick on some audio? We'll throw in a little audio. Heads up. Here we go. Whoops. I should have pressed play, bro.
Breaking news. Police are in pursuit of a driver behind the wheel of a stolen Porsche.
We understand that they are on Silver Lake Boulevard right now. Let's go over to Gil Levis overhead in Sky 5. Gil?
Should be a speed chase.
You're looking at the pursuit
high
right
speed.
now. Kind of slow speed coming up Silver Lake Boulevard here. Now, we understand it's a stolen Porsche. The license plates come back to a Cadillac vehicle. But we also know that during this chase, the driver tried to ram one of the officer's vehicles. So it's assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer on top of the stolen vehicle one. You can see the LAPD getting very close, looking like they want to do a pit maneuver. They might try that right now. They're kind of right on the bumper there, waiting for the right moment to do that. But in the meantime, I'll be zooming out and show you the pursuit package here. Several vehicles of LAPD in pursuit right now of this vehicle. Again, northbound on Silver Lake Boulevard coming up to Cove. And the driver kind of doing a little cat and mouse there with the speed, slowing down and speeding up. But again, stolen and assault on an officer with that vehicle, which it really changes the way they're going to pursue this driver. They're going to be very aggressive and try to get this pursuit ended, possibly with a pit or with a spike strip. But for now, you're looking at the way the pursuit's heading here.
He may have lost a tire.
Northbound on Silver Lake.
Yeah, he may have lost a tire, Gil, on the right side. You can see the road kicking up, a lot of dust kicked up. It looks like some debris as well. Hard to say for sure, but it would be on the right side of the vehicle if that's the case. But he may well have lost a tire.
Yeah, I thought I saw some smoke coming off that side. I wasn't sure exactly, but good eye there. Let's see, he's going to set up for a turn. We'll be able to get a look at that rear. There it is now.
Front right.
It looks front right. Yeah.
Something's happening. Something's amiss. I mean, he was. There was a lot of smoke coming from the back of his car, so definitely from the right side. But now all of a sudden, that smoke is gone. Again, we are here on a pursuit of a stolen Porsche that's coming back with Cadillac license plates when they run that plate. You know, this is an SUV Porsche that we're looking at right now, and we have about 5 black and whites. And Gil, you did mention that he did try to ram one of these vehicles earlier on in the pursuit that started about maybe 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's right. We heard that the driver tried to ram one of the officers' vehicle, so that really adds to the want on this and the severity of this pursuit. At this point, it looks like not really too much.
So I'm thinking there's maybe 2 chases last night. Because I seen one last night, and I don't think it was this vehicle, but we'll have a look here. It's not too much longer. This didn't go too long, so hang tight with me.
Through Hollywood, and here's a U-turn. So we might see a pit here. We might be pulling over. Look at this. Another cat and mouse game, possibly. Yes, onto the gas, and then slowing down again, and then on the gas again. So again, a Porsche high speed vehicle here. Look at that. He hits the gas, and let me bring up our speedometer for you so you get an idea of the speed this driver is driving right now. But again, on and off the gas during this pursuit. A U-turn, now threatening to go on the wrong side of the road there, but continuing now back on to the Glendale Boulevard here at the freeway there. As you see, that was the 2 freeway. You can see him go under the freeway and heading the direction that he was coming. So he might be going back to Silver Lake Boulevard and heading back south towards the 101.
Not sure what he's trying to accomplish by slowing down and doing commands to have others exit the vehicle. We don't know. Obviously,
Fast forward.
We can't hear what they're saying, but
getting hemmed up.
Essentially, they'd be moving forward at this point.
This was a
if they
wrap.
believe this driver was alone.
Yeah, I don't think.
So we'll wait and see what happens here for another moment or two. As again, this was a stolen car.
Yeah, totally not the chase I was watching last night. So it seems like we had 2. So you got one of them here. Maybe we'll pull that other one later, but yeah, definitely some action last night. And the one last night, they called off the units from it. So they, you know, it was driving that crazy, and that's been happening lately. Also, the fog was causing some of these chases to get called off and just let them go, you know. So yeah, this guy's a wrap here for sure. And yeah, so last night's, they called it off, they let it go, but the news station stayed on, the chopper for the news stayed on the vehicle, and they seen right where they pulled in, and the suspect got out, and that was that. So suspect gets out, gets away, maybe went home to his apartment. He pulled into the apartment complex. And then, so the chopper, the news chopper, was relaying some information to who knows who. You can only imagine. And a little bit after, LAPD pulled up. So, yeah, homeboy really didn't get away. Well, I imagine they got him. So, anyway, a little bit of SoCal madness for y'all. Bringing you along for the ride there. Skip through it. Yeah, let's get to it. All right. What do we have next? So big up to Jeff, the homie Jeff. We'll see if he's in chat. Maybe he's at work today. But he recently, you know, we've been digging a lot of these databases, different mapping for different cryptids also, but mainly Bigfoot. And I've asked some of you if you know of any different databases, some that, you know, maybe we haven't shared. And Jeff went ahead and shared one with us. So that was super cool. And y'all hang tight. You can play. They're free. It's free. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me call him. All right, we're calling bro. Give me one moment. I'm making a quick phone call here. Boom. All right. Took care of that. All right. We're multitasking here. What up, Poncho Zorch? How's your Friday going, brother? All right. I pulled up the city of Lost Angels there, just in case I thought I was going to have to jump off camera. Boom. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and pull up these this one map that Jeff shared with us. Actually, he sent it to me just the other night, and it seems pretty interesting. I think they integrated it with the Google mapping, which is something you can do. I'd like to learn how to do that. I think that was the right word to use, but let's have a look here. So this is Project Darkwood Cryptid. And this is their cryptid mapping site. And it's super cool because it's not only Bigfoot, there's all sorts of different cryptids there. Now, how reliable are these reports? Who knows? But it'd be interesting to take a dive. And it's something we'll be pulling up here on the regular. But man, all these continents are riddled. You can see everything. UFOs, looks like dog paws there. So I would take it as dog man. I see some snakes. Looks like some lake monsters or sea monsters also. Dinosaur type creatures. Let's swing this over to the States here. Yeah, anyone ever check this out? It looks super cool. And so thank you, Jeff. We'll be checking that out. And anyone else got any maps to share? There, what up, bro? We summoned him. There he is. Hopefully you got the day off, Jeff. If not, hopefully one of the days during the weekend. I don't know. You working weekends again? What's going on? And thank you for hanging out, brother. Thank you for sharing this map as well. We'll be diving into that. Thought I'd share with the crew out here. And while we're on maps, we'll go ahead and jump into these reports here. So, Bigfoot Mapping Project. You can see here we've got 3 new green dots. We've been keeping up with it lately. And I thank you all for coming through. The numbers, the views on the streams have been climbing. So that's much appreciated. And don't forget, you could hit that thumbs up. It helps. Yeah, our little graphics and stuff aren't up. Our effects aren't up as we're using no virtual background or anything. And I just deactivated the damn camera. Come on, camera. Thank you. All right, let's have a look and see what these reports say. It's always exciting. And you never know. They might be long. They might be short. And let's just head on north, BC. You know, BC is the place for this stuff. I'd love to go visit. And shout out to Thomas Steenberg up in BC. Yeah, it was an honor hanging out with him, a pleasure. And I'd go squatching with him any other time. I'd like to go to his neck of the woods. Anyway, 5898. Another 90s report. Seems like several folks from that era are starting to come out and submit these reports over to the database here, which is super cool. We read a couple from the 90s just the other day. And what up, Ridge Shot here? Hold up. We need to give my ninja Ridge Shot a tool here. Boom. And there we go. You got blessed up right there, man. My man got the tool now. Seen. All right, British Columbia, 98. Who remembers 1998? That was another one of those. Whole 90s were wild, but it's like seemed like 95, 98, 99. 2:30 p.m. No height description or sex, no vocalization either. It says a large, very clear footprint. And that's sounds, singular. It's not plural. In the middle of a quad trail, probably 5 feet wide. The trail, not the track, is what I'm taking from that. There was only one print, yes, suggesting the gate was large. This area was undeveloped in 98 that we used to play in, riding our bikes, taking our kiddos through in the winter, etc. I was with 2 other childhood friends. When we found the print, we became fearful and ran home as quickly as we could. The print was very fresh. When we got to my friend's house, that was a weird inhale there. When we got to my friend's house, we told her parents, but they didn't believe us. Damn parents. We didn't play freely in that area again after that. No. Yeah, so footprints there. Very interesting. 98, way up in British Columbia. And we could zoom in. Let's drop the man. And you can see Prince, just not too far from Prince. And we're going to drop down into the States now, into the wonderful state of Colorado. I haven't been to Colorado. I might have flown over it maybe a couple times, but never. I wonder, no, didn't drive through it. But it looks like northern Colorado here, not too far. You can see Denver a little below it. Yeah, big respect, man. Candy Wolf. I see Candy Wolf in the chat. Who else is in here? And feel free to hype up the stream, y'all. You can hype it. You can share it. You can smash the likey. Squatch it. Squatch the like. So here we go. Another 97. What's up with this? We're getting a rash of 90s reports. Now, I'm not really familiar on how the Bigfoot Mapping Project releases. Whoops. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I actually just tapped my phone accidentally. And my brother had sent me a video of the lady that was stalking us, and she she pulled up. So it's almost like I wanted to scream there right quick. She's back. Oh, gosh. All right, 3/31/97, 10:32 p.m. No height. It was a male. So did they see something? Mm-hmm. Vocalization, yes. I was living in Estes Park, Colorado for 13 years and worked for the cable company, cable guy. The incident was in 1997. I was out in the field working on a main line on the west side of town off Highway 66 towards the YMCA. And there goes the YMCA coming up. Let's see. Again, we brought it up here locally in La Cañada. There was that video that made the news with this guy. He was a tow truck driver, young guy. And he had pulled over for some reason, and it was behind like a YMCA there. And then it's the 210 freeway. And he recorded something kind of dashing through the trees. And I bring it up a lot. Anyway, I'll just keep reading this report. The YMCA of the Rockies. I parked my truck at a summer cabin that wasn't in use at the time. It was the closest spot I could park and carry my gear up to reach a specific pole with an amplifier on it that need routine maintenance. All right. Again, the letters are small here, so I gotta really focus on the reading, but feeling more and more comfortable every time we do this, and y'all join me, so I appreciate it. I was up the pole about 3 to 5 minutes settling in with my gear when I started hearing a bunch of commotion southeast of me down the hill. About my 11 o'clock position as I was facing the pole, it was loud enough to catch my attention, and about 50 to 75 yards away, whatever it seemed to be, distressed or upset. Whatever it seemed to be, distressed or upset, yep. Sounded like it was struggling with something. What up, Butcher? Butcher sending me some Instagram reels right now. Salute to you. If you don't know Butcher, Butcher's our homie and the artist that blessed us with his work outside of the shop here and over at the Catalyst. Check him out. Butcher_3A on Instagram. And he's been very, very, very active there. So amazing artist and super cool to see him just do his thing. Anyway, I'll be checking that out. I have been pretty active over on Instagram and over on the TikTok, Chicky Chalky. So feel free to give us a follow over there. And so let's see, where did we... All right, so I definitely had something, or it definitely had, there we go, girth to it. But the entire time, I never could get a good, clear glimpse of it. It was always in a dense thicket area that had tall, bushy junipers in it. I then heard a few grunting noises and what I described as voicing noises. Maybe like gibberish talking and stuff like that. So there's additional comments here. And let's get into that. Then all of a sudden, the noise and the commotion stopped. I finally figured the coast was clear. Once I was down the pole, I had to make 2 trips from the pole to the truck to carry all my gear and equipment back. I kept an eye out the whole time and never saw or heard anything again. I know what elk and bear and mountain lions sound like when they are close by and moving through the area. Usually, mountain lions could be silent as heck. Huh? I have only mentioned this incident to people who I think may have had similar incidences in the mountains, or if asked if I've ever seen anything in the woods or mountains. Mostly to those who have lived up there for a long time or love the mountains like him maybe. Color, he described black. But I thought he didn't see anything. I don't know. I'm a little confused there. I have to go back and read that. But anyway, Colorado, I don't doubt it. And Colorado is, you know, you mentioned we're talking mountain lions, where that recent fatal mountain lion attack, we got into that about a stream or two ago, one of the previous live streams. So check that out. And yeah, we talk about just safety and awareness when it comes to these things. You know, because when we're out looking for these things, you got to know that there's other stuff out there, other dangers out there. But yeah, you know, if you ask me, it's like a suicide mission when Bigfoot appears. And give me 1 second, we're gonna pull up a stream right quick. Take care of some quick business, y'all. What's up, brother? Good. How you doing? Yeah. All right, that was super cool. That's the neighbor there. So next to the shop here, we have it's he does how do you say, everything from like road work, construction. This guy has his own business, he has his own crew, and he has a little space here. It's a little lot. And he parks all his toys there, you know, all his gear and all that. And yeah, it's always good to talk to him. He always has a positive feedback and positive things to say. And yeah, things are rough for his business right now. So yeah, you know, it's a bummer. So he'll be in my prayers. And let's see. Let's activate the camera. Yeah, thank you for hanging tight. Yes, we are on duty, folks. And let's get into the next report. Where were we? We were heading up to, we just left Colorado. So we're over in Minnesota. So yeah, and Minnesota. And Minnesota's been quite active. And again, give me a moment. Let's see. I got someone over here. How's it going? We're saving someone's life right now. We got a customer that came in for a specific product, and we do have it. So he's going to get his money. Yeah, we'll give him a moment and we'll take care of that business and hop back on over here. For now, I'll just throw on this live feed of Babylonia. Yes, Los Angeles. Anyone out there? And it's super cool because the camera is you doing good? How you doing, Patrick Noble? Yeah, we're just hanging here at the shop, we're hanging out, reading some reports. We just seen a little speed chase earlier. One of two, possibly. We had two the other night just before that too. So I'll double check on the date of that chase because I'm like, hold up, I missed this one. And yeah, we're getting into these reports. And let me check chat here just to see if I'm missing anything. Oh, there's Roger. I was missing Roger. What up, brother? Cheers. Yeah, we made it to the weekend, brother Roger. And his forest friend up in here. She's hiding. There she is. All right, y'all, let's take care of this quick business. I'll be right there. All right, getting flooded there. Jeez. Sorry about that. I did give the warning ahead of time, and hopefully y'all are networking up in the chat there. Yeah, we're multitasking here. Let's get back into it. So we're up in Minnesota. A lot of stuff going on in Minnesota right now. Prayers to everyone out that way. And interesting that we have a report from here. So yeah, 6/14/19, 11/19, not 11/20. They got it on dot. 11/19, 8 feet. They're reporting this creature to be, and no vocalization there. And it says, let's see, just took a quick peek at how long it is. I worked at a private resort near Emmaville, Minnesota, on overnight maintenance. Yeah, those overnight maintenance folks. Shout out to them. I bet you they got all types of creepy paranormal, and yeah, I've heard several stories. It was just at daybreak, probably between 5:30 to 6. And as I exited the main building, I looked across the small private lake. I saw a large brown hairy humanoid figure looking back at me. Ooh, yikes. I could see it. It was upright on 2 feet and shaped like a very large man, but much hairier. I walked down the steps to get a closer look, and it turned away from me. And within about 2 large strides, it was up the steep hill and behind it and out of sight. The next day I went over to the spot. I saw it and didn't see any signs of any of it being there. There is a trail. Uh-oh. Man found unconscious. Citizen report there. There is a trail sign right next to this location, about 5 feet tall. And this figure was head and shoulders above it. Yeah, I've heard that before, like stop signs and stuff like that. People have described like the subject being taller than some of these signs and stuff. It's amazing. In Oregon, we had these shipping containers on the property. And sometimes when I'd sit outside of the house, there was a few by the house. And sometimes I'd get the vibe, the squatchy vibe. And I was like, oh, man, this will not be, it will not be good if some thing pops out and it's taller than the ship. Because I already knew it's got to be taller than the shipping container. Those things are pretty tall, but I would imagine a Bigfoot would be taller. They described it as dark brown, this one. All right, Minnesota. Yeah, I don't think I've read too many reports out of Minnesota. And wow, cool. Big up to the Bigfoot Mapping Project. It's always exciting to read these reports to you all. And yeah, we got through it there. You know, there is these, we should start reading some of these South American. You know, you got Mexico there. Looks like maybe Belize. Looks like this dot right here. A few more throughout Central America and on into South America. It looks like Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, of course, Brazil. Looks like Argentina's got nope. Maybe between Chile and Argentina. One on the Bolivian, Brazilian border there. There's Argentina way down there. So South America's got some action. We'll make it a full stream on like those reports. And I think again, those reports are like historical. We got Finding Bigfoot on TV on the big screen in the shop. Bobo and the crew. Okay, so let's see what else we got lined up. Some more. So we're gonna pull up some morbid news, folks. Just a little heads up here. If you're squirmish, if you're Tina C, what's up? You're nearby, or maybe you're not. Who knows? You never know where Tina C is. She reminds me of Carmen what is it? Carmen San Diego? Samaniego or San Diego, was it? Carmen Samaniego. She was like the Where's Waldo, right? But like the Latina version. Kind of like Dora. Is it Dora? The Exploradora. Yeah, cheers to you, Tina C. And if you're in town. Okay, so some morbid news I ran into last night. And you know, sometimes some of these live streams, some of our friends that live stream interview people. And yes, I'm interested in interviewing people. Let's pop ourselves up. Boom. And activate the camera. Come on, camera. There we go. There's some of these topics, whether it's like Dogman or the what is it now? The pale crawlers are making waves out there. The skinwalkers, you know, it's done his rounds. All these different cryptids and entities and beings and stuff. And so lately a whole lot, and it's come up before, but I think maybe more now than ever, is like occult activity. And that's come up recently. It was last year when we went up into the mountains camping with the boys and got the thermal footage. Yes. We were warned by CHP because there was an accident right before we got into the campground. They were asking what we were doing, and they just basically warned us about some cult unalivings that had happened in the area and stuff like that. We've always heard stuff like that, especially haunted forest. We bring up a whole lot, and so I've heard of that type of activity there. Never seen any like evidence of it, but when the CHP told us, I was like, all right, bro, I believe you. So it is a thing, and I've heard other people talking about it in other states too. So, you know, and could these people, maybe when they're doing rituals and stuff like that, could they be conjuring up? They're obviously conjuring up spirits and entities, but could some of these spirits and entities, could they, well, obviously with the skinwalker, they could wear the skin and become whatever it is, right? Could some of these other occultists or whatever label themselves practicing these things, could they be turning into some of these things, or could they be opening, like, you know, they've talked about portals for these things to come through and stuff like that. So anyway, this I'm bringing all this up because I seen a particular piece of news yesterday, and excuse me, I'm not diving into the chat, and I always put out there if there's something important I'm missing or something like that, please put it in the comments after the stream, or you could put it anywhere, you know, any old video or anything like that is a good way to get that information to me, or whatever it is that you may be trying to relay in case I missed something. But so yeah, I wanted to, I don't know what state this was, but this is gnarly. So again, viewer discretion is advised. This was on the news, so we're gonna take a look and check this out, because this had me going. And actually, we'll bring something else up. There's been another case. We had brought this up, maybe it was last year, maybe in the beginning, towards the beginning of when I first started streaming. There was people robbing graves out here at a particular cemetery, a historical, and it was, you know, I want to say it was for melanated folk as well, and honoring war veterans and stuff like that. So people started stealing some of the plaques and stuff like that. And we're thinking, because of the whole what is it, the copper craze. We've brought that up out here. The 6th Street Bridge has been stripped several times from all its copper, and it really there's cool lights that turn on there, and I don't think they've been able to turn on the lights because the second time they stole the copper, they never replaced the stuff for there to be lights there. So, and it's a big issue out here. I've seen people strip copper and wires and all types of stuff. There's a plaque right here in the corner honoring the furthest southeast part of Los Angeles. So it's like a little historical point here, right on Indiana and Olympic Boulevard at the corner of the street here. And that plaque was gone when I went to try to show it during the live stream. Garrel, Midwest Night Watchers, actually pulled up an actual picture of the plaque. So here we have an article describing that incident. So you can see grave vandals strike again at historic Civil War cemetery in LA, where 1,600 headstones have been stolen or destroyed. And so you could see the article here and check this out. This is a Daily Mail. And let's see if it could kick us back. And so this is, let's see, there was some footage here. Yeah, the guys were on video and everything. Let's see. And they haven't been able to, I don't know, maybe, I would think maybe hiring more security somehow, but that costs money. And I could only imagine keeping these places up takes a lot of funding as well. So yeah, there's that situation going on here locally. But what I did want to get into was one I heard from, let's see, where'd it go? Darn it. Here it is. So I believe this is Pennsylvania, and we're going to get into trying to see the news network here. NBC 10 Philadelphia. All right. So heads up if you're squirmish, maybe come back in a few. But here we go.
Very shocking, this entire ordeal, Fred. We're actually, like you said, right outside of the cemetery, and I want to show you how big it is, and it has different access points, as you can see here. Officials explained to us that this cemetery extends from Yeadon to Philly, making it possible for someone to commit these crimes, especially late at night and going.
So again, a grave robbing going on. Vandalism, and this guy was actually stealing skeletons, and as you can read there, 100 skeletons. Okay, Delaware County, how do you pronounce that? Yeadon?
Unnoticed.
After 30 years now, I can say this is probably the most horrific thing that I've seen.
The why a man stole bodies, skeletons, and skulls from a graveyard in Yeadon is one of the many things Delaware County officials are investigating after finding over 100 human remains in the possession of this man, 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach.
This happened, as you guys will see in the complaint, under the cloak of darkness, very much secreted from public view. This guy did everything in his power to secretly and silently grave rob.
On Thursday, Delaware County officials announced Gerlach is facing a slew of charges for grave robbing at Mount Moriah Cemetery. Officials say Gerlach was allegedly burglarizing and stealing from mausoleums and underground burial sites since November of 2025.
And look at that. It looks like he's got his neck blasted up there. I can't really tell. It looks like some geometric shapes. Anyone could identify those tattoos? Yeah, some nose rings there. Interesting looking character. What was I was gonna bring something up here. Maybe I think it's still downloading. Hopefully I remember.
On January 6th, he was caught in the act and arrested.
Oh, I was seeing some of those I guess you could say, what do you call them, like monuments or something? Like they look like monuments. Some of these grave stones and some of the, you'll see like obelisks and different amazing structures depending on the cemetery. So we've gone into it. I've seen some other people get into it as well. We've gone to what is it, the Evergreen Cemetery here, the Oddfellows Cemetery we've done a live stream at, and we found like some, well, the Oddfellows is a whole other section, and you know, weirdness, I'll say, just strange, occult, hidden stuff. But Evergreen Cemetery had its thing too, but a lot of old world stuff. Even the entrance had this weird archway that was there's just like remnants, looks like ruins. So a lot of those things I believe are old world as well, but maybe are being repurposed somehow too as these grave sites.
Police say he had a bag stuffed with human remains that included skulls of children. They also found bones in his vehicle. Gerlach's home in Lancaster County was also part of the search.
A separate storage locker was found to be in Mr. Gerlach's possession. That also was in Ephrata. We found there 8 more human remains. Very simply, detectives have recovered an awful lot of bones at this point, and we are still trying to piece together who they are.
Officials say some of the remains that were found in Gerlach's home are over 100 years old.
There's one that had a pacemaker still attached to the body.
Delaware County District Attorney Tanner Rouse says investigators are looking into all aspects of Gerlach's life, including his social media activities, like his Facebook page, where he is shown with a skull. Police are also looking at this social media group called Human Bones and Skull Selling Group, where Gerlach was tagged.
You have to really be a really sick individual to do this.
Yes. And yeah, so a Facebook group, did they say, where they buy and sell these things? Interesting. And I've heard of other, there's stuff like that, like haunted objects or cursed objects and stuff like that. But this is whole other level. It's pretty dark, if you ask me. And what were they doing? And oh, this lady got seafood. Hope is fresh. What you got?
Something like that. I really want to know, like, what were you doing with it?
Across the cemetery, Ray operates a late-night seafood spot. She is shocked to know that this was happening across from her business.
It was just crazy. Like, I would never expect anyone to do anything like that.
Well, investigators say they have a lot of work to do now, and part of that work is now figuring out who these bodies and remains belong to. They do say that they believe that Gerlach acted alone, but they are not discarding any other possibilities. In Delaware County, Shayra Arias, NBC 10 News.
All right. Creepy, dark. Yikes. And I've heard of others. There's other stuff where I think there was like well-known universities selling parts. There's been different things like that. Recent. And I'm sure some of this stuff's been going on, but yeah, a little peek into some darkness there, folks. Yikes. What up, Ghost Dragon? Ghost Dragon, I much love to you, brother. Hope you're well. Ghost Dragon's been really helping out over on TikTok, sharing out the videos and stuff and liking them. And I appreciate you, Ghost Dragon. And we should hook up soon, brother. We have been trying. We could try it again. You know what? No, we'll give it another shot. I was going to put a link out there, see if someone wanted to jump on, but we're heading into an hour now. We're going to do our sound check, which I was trying to do last night, but got caught up, had to do a little overtime here, which was great because we needed the business. And so we were able to pull it off. Miggy, what up? Yeah, bless up, everyone, especially after that news reel there. Jeez. Hey. Yeah. So sound check. Let's give it a little shot. Y'all bear with me. I just want to check to see if my turntables are playing. So we're gonna give that a shot. Chart. And y'all check each other out. Do I have to remind you all? We got some amazing content creators up in the chat. And you know what? There's is it Mysteries Unknown? And I salute to you, bro. I've been seeing you've been going live quite a bit lately. And you gave me the invite to your show. We did a show together, so that was super cool. And he's been sharing, he shares some posts. He's a post guy. He likes posting like I do. And I'm gonna go ahead. I shared the post, but I'm gonna share it again just because it gave me it made me crack up. Maybe it'll give you a chuckle, and we need that after some darkness. Yeah.
Darkness.
All right, quick share here. Yep. And if you don't get it, then I'm sorry, but you got to laugh. Yeah, I love it. What's up, Amanda? Much love to you. Thanks for hopping in. And Mysteries Unknown, brother, thank you for sharing that. I look at this, I kept it in my phone. And every time I need a little chuckle, I take a look at that. All right, sound selector. Let's do this. And don't worry, I'm not going to perform or anything like that. We're just going to check to see if our sound is coming through.
Yeah. Hey, yo, who want beef now?
Let me know if we got audio. Y'all hearing music? Or is it a no-go? Lori, cheers. Good to see you. No music? Music? You see it's playing right here. We got audio. We got audio. Wow. All right. Sweet. Can you hear scratches? One second. So can you hear this side? Can you hear scratches? Scratchy poos. All right, cool. So we got sound back. Thank goodness. So now that we got sound back, we'll be playing a lot more with this. Yeah, I see a lot more people getting away playing stuff on YouTube. I don't know how they're doing it, not getting them copyrights. Maybe they're not monetized. They gotta be. But yeah, thank goodness that's back and on. Took me like a week to figure it out. Oh yeah, we'll have some fun. All right, y'all. So have a blessed weekend. Thank you for hanging out today. Maybe we'll, who knows? We might get a chase later. It's Friday. And if so, and we could catch it, we'll jump back on here. Thank you for hanging out again. Gustavo, saludos. Shelly, I see you. Bless up, everyone. Yes, sir. Don't forget, there's ways to get a hold of BD. Don't forget to follow the shop on the gram. Come shop with me. Anyone get any BD slaps yet? Any BD stickers? That's what we call them, slaps, because you slap them on they're now available. And there's the link there to that. Rumble. What up, Rumble? Yes, we're live on Rumble right now. Twitch. Kick. Yes, subscribe, y'all. Hit me on the Discord. Come on. We're getting a little active over there, but things kind of died out. And I get it. It's hard to keep up with all these different platforms and all that. TikTok, we're hanging out with Jeremiah from Bigfoot Society. He's been doing live call-in shows over there. And man, he had a good one. A guy from, I want to say he was Canadian, but had in like native ties and stuff like that. He was talking about all sorts of stuff. It was amazing. Anyway, good times over there. I don't know when he does that, but I guess he made me a moderator over there as well. So salute to Jeremiah. I got to figure out how to navigate through those lives and really swing the tool if need be. Yeah, I don't know how to be a moderator over there yet. YouTube over here, you know, you can trust me. And I appreciate all those who have made me a moderator. Boom. There we go again. All right, outro time, senor. Let's hit it. We out, y'all. Boom.